I should be good to go. I try to be low maintenance.
Yeah, I'm off the grid. I've been off the grid. I've never been on the grid.
Nice.
They set up an email address for me. You know, the professor said, well, it was actually Glover. It was like Master Smart, Smart stuff. He said, you got 500 emails, David, and Dean wants to know what you can do. I said, not sure at all. I never heard from him again. They gave it to me, but I just read it all.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I have this meeting right here, I don't have any time ready. Okay.
We got so many business majors at Milligan, it's pathetic. I got no goal.
Yeah.
You know, they require 2 bottle courses.
The gas go, did you put the gas on the pad?
I did.
They require 2 bottle courses, so I was taking
Okay.
New Testament survey under Dr. Miller. And I asked this girl if she was majoring, computer, and she said humanities.
You said the one
I
you
told her I could be that standing on the kid.
Yeah.
Anything else?
But I think the difference between I didn't think nothing of it. She told her dean, I told her. And Dr. Allen, went to the management department, said, I need to apologize to her. I said, I'm not gonna apologize. I can do differential equations. I ain't apologizing to her. Let her try to do differential equations. Differential equations is going back. Before you have an equation with all dy dx, this is an answer. Like 4 dy dx plus 2 cosine of dy dx equals this dy dx. Anytime you have a dy dx, that's an answer. So what differential equations is you start out with all the answers and you try to get your original equation.
Well, that was a poster from an interesting show I did in New York. And I did many of them. And I did them all over the place. And I was cleaning out the deck early this morning before the sun really got hot, before I came to breakfast. So what are you having for lunch, sir?
I'm having salad.
Salad. Good choice.
You like
I
sweet?
got no problems.
Is it?
Blood sugar is really high.
What's really high?
Blood sugar.
No, but what number? What number?
Oh, I think it's 400.
400?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is high. Well, the food we eat.
Blood work done, and my heart's fine. It hasn't affected my heart.
Uh-huh.
Well, everything's fine except for that. And sometimes some dizzy spells.
Well, yes, your sugar can make you have sugar acidosis, and yeah, you can get a little flustered, yep. Anyway, I'm using my phone because it was easier to point at that poster. So I found that poster and photo books, and I found this other book that's kind of interesting.
I don't think that's cheating if I wrote this in my book. It's in my lab college.
What college did you go to?
I went to Milligan University. I graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in mathematics without a computer.
So what was your favorite math?
Integration formulas, area under each curve.
Did you like geometry?
Oh, yeah.
Is that okay?
They don't explain a lot of things like miles per hour is a derivative. It's, in other words, it's a change in miles, a change in X.
Right.
You would put the miles on the y-axis and the hour on the x-axis, but it only be on an hour. So, or 2 hours, 3, or how you want to do it. If you're going 40 miles per hour, 50 miles per hour, you want 4 an hour on the line. You can look that up, but it's a real miles per hour.
Yep. Well, I think almost anything can be.
Nobody takes science as math at university.
Well, because they could just Google things, you know. You don't
Well,
need.
Google is gonna tell you how to do it. You know, it does.
Well, then you go to YouTube, and YouTube will tell you how to do it. I mean, if you want to do open heart surgery on yourself, I'm sure there's a YouTube for that.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
But that's life.
You still have to know how to do it on paper unless the YouTube is wrong. Like I got one professor on, I did look up on my ex-wife's tablet, one professor, it says you have to change the limits every time. But another professor says you don't have to do it on parts, so I don't know. I think you have to do it all the time.
I was never a big fan of scholastics.
We're having dinner this Friday and Saturday night.
Oh, yeah?
Andrew's like, "Don't tell me about
We're
it."
gonna have a ribeye dinner.
Okay.
We'll have like barbecue dinner with pulled pork, burn-ins, cooked ribs. We're gonna have butter nachos, loaded potato shots. I've got some salads. I'll have a farmer steak. Hamburgers. Celebrate.
I might be there Friday. We're going to Charlotte Saturday for a silent disco.
A silent
You remember TRL back in the day?
A silent disco?
Yeah, okay. So they're doing an 80s, 90s, 2000s silent disco. Chris was like, you want to check it out? I was like, yeah.
That seems like definitely something we should do.
We've been to a couple silent discos.
What is a silent disco?
So basically, there will be a DJ on stage broadcasting music to headsets.
Okay,
So
okay.
everybody's got a headset.
Okay, I got it. But
Yeah.
so it really isn't silent. It's just
Oh yeah, you take it off and it's hilarious.
Yes.
You know, you hear everybody singing with no music.
yeah. Okay. Well,
How do they do YouTube on the test, because there's reports I took in mathematics and science, they pulled your cell phone. Wouldn't let you use, it's cheating using your cell phone.
I think that's changed. Today you can use all of that. It's just like back in my day, they used to not let you use a calculator
Yeah.
in
They
the
wouldn't let you do
in the
it.
60s and 70s. But then you had to.
When I was in college, they were pretty picky about which calculators you could use. Like
Yes.
TI-81, they would allow TI-83s, but they wouldn't allow TI-89s because you could program them, put notes in.
Yeah.
So you could basically cheat your way through your exams.
Well, I basically, when I taught, on my syllabus, I say, I guarantee you an A, just show up. No tests, no quizzes, no textbook. And then in real small print, if you ask me what's on the quiz, you fail immediately.
Love it.
So
The
by,
amount of students who don't read the syllabus,
no,
the majority don't.
yes. Well, I would have a big crowd when it said in big letters, I guarantee you an A, just show up. That was the big letters. And yeah, people. But I was there to do research, and I would be asked to, can you teach this? For that one semester, because they didn't want to hire somebody, so I would do that. So I did it the way I wanted to do it.
It was like that at Appalachian, I went to Appalachian and was pulled out. My grades were good.
What year were you in App?
I was in App 71.
That's about when I was there.
And my dad pulled me out. My dad looked like Guy Williams of Goro. He was a famous pharmacist. He served as Patsy Cline's mother's prescriptions at Garth Drugstore. And my uncle looked like the original Gomez on the Adams Family.
Really?
And he was a nuclear physicist and designed, first nuclear reactor for this.
A nuclear physicist? Well, I said, this is the neighborhood for that. This place closed.
But anyway,
They've been burying stuff in the ground around here since 1945.
Yeah.
what happened, the reason he pulled me out, he called me up at 9:30 at night, I was at Canyon.
Uh-huh.
He told me to come home in a hurry, don't tell nobody. So I had to make a 4-hour trip, middle of the night. And I got there around 1, everybody was asleep. So the next morning, he got me up and said, we gotta get your butt downtown. And,
What was
I
downtown?
said, why? I said, you're number 1 on the draft list, and he was a decorated combat infantry soldier to George Patton.
So he wanted you to die.
He was telling me in the car that Patton said, kill them all.
Kill them all.
Yeah, kill them all, just get to Berlin before.
Well, I guess George wasn't too much of a Christian. He didn't believe in forgiveness.
Because General Montgomery, he told me to get to Berlin before General Montgomery. Patton. And, he
So
said,
was this during the Vietnam War?
yeah, he says, they're not gonna fight like George Patton. I don't want you in it, son. We gotta get you in a reserve unit before you get a letter.
Yeah. So why didn't you stay? If you stayed in school, you would have had. You wouldn't have gone to the war.
He said I would.
When my draft board caught up with me, they told me they didn't trust me with a gun. So I went and worked at a VA hospital.
Right.
Oh, wait, oh.
Something works.
Alright, how are you?
Now this is my morning. It's like old. It's like a community center here. How hot is it supposed to get today?
Sort of. Probably not hard enough.
Around here it doesn't get this hot, but it's been in the 90s the last couple of weeks. It's like, ouch. That's why I'm wearing long sleeves. What kind of bike you got up there?
It's a 2024 Honda Grom. It's one of the mini motors.
Right.
125 cc's,
Mm-hmm.
5-speed transmission. I'm averaging 127 and a half miles per gallon. So, just wanted something fun. I live right up the road. You know, I don't run 60 miles an hour, so it's not an interstate bike. But
Is that your major means of transportation?
no, I have a car too.
No.
That's just my nice weather transportation. Something to take.
How long you lived around here?
A little over 3 years. My parents have been up here about 6 or so years. So now I'm just saving.
Where do they live on? What?
Just up 321.
Huh.
Yeah. So.
And near North Carolina border?
Alright, no, you're not.
Yeah, I live up that neck of the woods too.
Okay. What's your name?
Al.
Alan Andrew.
Andrew.
Nice to meet you.
Yep. So here, take a look at this. I'll give you something. Do I have a card? Yes, I do.
Okay.
I have a YouTube channel you might find fun.
All right. Very cool. I will look into it.
Yeah, I've been here about 25 years.
Okay. Where are you originally from?
Oh, I grew up in Harlem, New York City.
Okay. I'm from New Jersey originally.
What part?
Central Freehold Howell
Oh,
area.
yeah. I
Dad's
taught
from
at,
Staten Island.
I lived in Newark
Okay.
and Hoboken.
All right.
And I used to teach at Newark College of Engineering on College Avenue in Newark,
Okay.
right across the street from Newark High School, and just up the hill from Rutgers. And that was like 72.
Okay. A little before my time.
But I was at App in 69, and Boone was this cute little town, and the omnipresent scent was honeysuckle.
Okay.
And now the omnipresent scent is diesel.
Yeah.
All those buses. So let's see your palm, the hand you write with. Oh, yeah, honest. honest guy, a little passive aggressive there.
Sometimes. Definitely honest.
Yes. But what's your best trait is you think with your heart and you feel with your head. Turn your hand this way. So like when someone says something smack to you, you go, why'd they say that? Instead of like, right? And if your engine isn't running right, you kind of put your hands on and goes down, instead of trying to look on YouTube and see what it is.
Yeah.
So that's your best character. So let's see this side of your hand again. That's a very smart guy. A lot of lean into your common sense. You're pretty good at getting the job done, but you're way too anxious. Stop worrying.
Yeah.
There's no upside to it. It's a bad hobby. It's
I try to not stress about things that I have no control over.
Well, that's a good start. That's a good
I've
start.
been trying to adopt the stoicism philosophies where I can.
You kind of have to have a dharmic spirit. You know what dharma is? In Buddhism, it's basically you have no control, so just let go.
Okay.
Right, and let God take over. That's a very Christian thing too. But most Christians don't do that.
That's true.
They don't really do much of whatever Jesus said.
Yeah.
So what do you do?
I work in IT.
What level of IT?
Mid-tier. I do a lot of application support, a little bit of development work, liaisoning between business and technical.
Yeah. I have a buddy who, we were in computers in the 60s when you had to put programming on
Punch cards.
Yes.
Take it to the computer room.
Yes, and when I did my first little program, I didn't quite get all the cards, so when I hit the button, I shot all over the room, and I said, screw that, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But he stuck at it, so he really got into, at the ground level of marrying, Wi-Fi with applications.
Okay.
Hardware and
The network support stuff. Yeah.
He's a big business. He's big into his business is into the medical model.
Okay. Very nice. Yeah, I'm in industrial supply, so companies like Grainger,
Yeah, those guys. Yeah.
just supporting their sales systems.
Yeah. But all that stuff and back then, the robot motif was definitely. Did you ever read any of Turing's work?
Mm-mm.
And you should. He wrote one thing called Golem,
Okay.
which is about basically artificial intelligence. You know what a golem is?
Like the.
In Hebrew.
Mm-mm.
It's Hebrew is golem is a warrior made from mud. They
Okay.
do a ceremony. They make a creature, like a doll out of mud and straw, and do the thing, and bingo, they'd have an indestructible warrior.
Okay.
So that's a golem. So it had an intelligence. It wasn't just go and kill. It actually knew the Torah. And so most people, like Christians, don't realize there's the Torah, the Talmud, and the Kabbalah. And you got to look at all three.
Okay.
And so that was that guy. So he was like robot God, And so Turing wrote all about that, about artificial intelligence. And
Okay.
you
That's
might-
interesting because
yeah.
we're living in AI
Yes,
now.
and he wrote that in 1918 when he was 17.
Oh wow. Okay.
You know who Turing is? He basically invented he made the first real modern computer to break the German codes.
Okay.
Because the Germans had this machine called the Enigma that had all these wheels, and you put different wheels in and set them at different things. And everyone who had the machines knew what settings and what wheels were. But if you didn't, you could never figure out what code, right?
Interesting.
So he made the first computer to be able to look at the patterns of yesterday's codes and figure out what that said. And
Neat.
so go Google.
Yeah, I will.
How about Nikola Tesla? You
Of
ever
course.
hear that
Tesla
guy?
coins. Absolutely. Yeah. It's good chatting with you. I'll
Yeah.
check you out on YouTube.
You'll find it interesting.
We'll see you later.
1963,
Yep, that was a good year.
George Orwell
Yeah,
wrote a book called The 4-Day Weekend.
yeah.
Well, cars driving by themselves,
Yep,
locking the doors
yep.
to get in.
Yep, I read that one. And H.G. Wells, that guy, he
Still
wrote
got it.
a great book called The Short History. Short book. A short history of the world, or something like that.
I used to have all the comics from the 60s and early 60s.
So, what was your favorite? Were you a Captain American fan?
Well, my whole collection wasn't worth the $400 in face value.
Uh
And I sold them all for $5,000.
huh. So were you a Stan Lee fan?
He said when I sold them, it was part price.
Were you a Stan Lee fan? A Stan Lee fan?
Yeah.
I thought I was really impressed by him.
We can go to Walmart and he finds people, and I'm like, okay.
I'm just supposed to have a fair price when I
And an
sold
hour
them.
later, he's still talking. I'm like,
Uh huh.
But the whole collection was only worth about $400.
Well,
They were 12-cent blues.
I always had too much stuff. I got rid of all my
I still
stuff.
got Magnus Robot Lighter, a couple copies of that, and I got old Star Trek books. And I got the one my name is in from 1965. My name and address is in that one.
Star Trek. We're living in the Star Trek world. Anyway, guys,
The little goatee.
I'm not sure.
it's an interesting moment here.
I hate to be an engineer.
Why?
I have to check something on paper, especially with nasty. I hate not being able to check the answer on paper, go by what the computer says.
I knew some pretty good mathematicians who could do things in their head.
Hello, ladies. Where are you?
Well, I can do the basics in my head. Maybe I had to do the basics, but I think.
No pressure. Y'all eat lunch?
You know what a field equation is?
No, but who I'm staying with, because they got health problems now. As a true Christian,
Oh, here, I'll get it over.
she got mad at me.
You got mad at you?
Yeah, because I worked the time travel equation with angular momentum. And I got the answer right. So that thing, she had to have. She said I was bringing in double stuff. But that's what Stern is working on.
Devil stuff.
That's a big sabotage, it's like a time remember the time?
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, Stern is like that.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep, pretty much. There was that time tunnel thing.
Time sends particles close to the speed of light, and some of them disappear, and they don't know where they go to.
Well, that's what particles do. They can be in two places at once.
Yeah, I'm not sure, they just disappear like they're creating from the dimension or something. I read that about science. People, really.
Yeah, it's not a happy place.
You know, I don't talk religion, but I do talk about how I got a long-term Satanist in the church. I got him in the church 2 years ago, and she looked like a witch. But I just saw how powerful the video was 7 months ago. So the video says read it 7 times. Pam says that's God's favorite number.
Yeah, it is. In the Bible, everything is derivative of 7.
Because faith comes by hearing. God spoke the word, spoke to the mountain, and the words go in the atmosphere. So let me tell you what I got to say in the church with. It wasn't John or anything. It was a health and welfare contract that preachers don't preach on. It's Psalm 91. It says, under the secret place most high, God heaven turns his presence as you order. You can wrestle as Adonai men, 10,000 fall on your right, 1,000 fall on your left. In the pestilence roams day and night, when I harm you, evil and flesh and criminality. Angels will lift you up and down, this is something stupid, this which spoken God will honor you and answer you, live a long life with salvation. That's Psalm 91.